All right, hello and welcome back to another episode of the Kingswell Conversations. Conversations that are shaping the future of foster care and adoption. And again, I am joined by the fabulous Richard Kingswell, CEO of Extra Special Parents and FosterVA in Virginia. Hello, Richard. Thank you for joining me today.
Hi, Nikki. Thanks for the invite again. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. So the whole point of Kingswell Conversations is we are picking the brains of Richard Kingswell, who has been in the arena of foster and adoption for such a long time and is so knowledgeable in this area, as well as his role as a CEO. And so through these conversations, we're utilizing all that knowledge that he has locked up in there to open up conversations around foster care and adoption and all the different facets that go towards that. So we've talked about lots of different things in our previous episodes. And today on this episode, what we want to talk about a little bit is the role of how FosterVA and ESP, Extra Special Parents, how you work and collaborate with the Department of Social Services within Virginia. So things about how does that relationship build? What makes a strong partnership? What is their role in this journey? Can you help those people listening to understand a little bit about how the DSS fits in to this journey and how you and ESP and FosterVA collaborate with DSS?
Well, in Virginia, we have 133 jurisdictions. We're a Commonwealth, and that makes us very unique with America, that we're one of the original states. So every county has their own rule book. Every county has their own administration. Every county works their own different way. They have the rule book from the state, and we all follow the rule book from the state, but everybody loves the word interpretation of how they want it done. So we have to work with all our partners with compassion for everybody. So we have to understand who our customers are. And of course, the customers are our kids. The kiddos are the most important part of this journey. And the Department of Social Services, as part of their journey, are the ones who are the guardians. They're the ones that have said that the home needs to be brought in, the foster care agency needs to be brought in, the child needs to be removed from their biological family or the kin that's looking after them for their safety and protection while we try and get everything sorted out. So in Virginia, they are the guardians of the children, and they have all the responsibilities for big like health decisions and where they're going to live and which foster parents they're going to have. So they're a critical component in the journey of being an agency. And so we build our relationships with agencies in a way of trust and integrity. That's the only way that you can do this job, is that we have to trust the agencies that they're giving us the right information. The DSS are giving information that's honest, and we believe when they say they've got a 10-year-old, they have a 10-year-old, and when they have these behaviors, they have these behaviors. And so a successful relationships from a therapeutic foster care agency, a TFC like ourselves, is to have that integrity between us and them. That's how we become successful, because if they say you've got this child and we say we can help this child, and then we do help that child, that integrity builds over years. So as we're coming up to our 20th year of doing this, the integrity across the Commonwealth is so important. And I suspect that is the first reason that they choose us as a number one go-to place, is because they know that we'll look after the children in the way that they want. And we trust them that they're going to give us information. So we don't set up our parents to have a child that they think is a sort of a level 2 kid, and the DSS sends us a level 10 kid. And we don't want that, because that breeds trust across. So we have to do as much information gathering when we're talking to the workers, because yes, they are definitely giving us information that they want us to be successful, because they don't want the kid to be sitting on their couch in a DSS at 7:00 in the evening. But they also know that they don't want to be the failure of the placement in 2 days' time and they're going through the whole thing again. So there's a line of that integrity and trust and belief in each other that we're going to do a good job. And that's how you get to 20 years.
And how, for people listening who don't understand necessarily the whole journey of fostering, do the DSS do placements themselves as well as agencies placements, or do the DSS only work with agencies? Is there two separate pathways? Is there a differentiation?
There is, and they're two different. So a Department of Social Services, if they're a reasonable size, has their own foster parents. Those foster parents are recruited by the DSS to work with their children in their community. Mm-hmm. And so that's what makes them unique. And so those parents get first dibs at all the kids coming through, because if they can keep it all within the house, they're going to. That some of the DSSs only have a few kids. And if you're looking for a very specific child or an age group you want to work with, they have a lot smaller kids. Where a therapeutic foster care agency, we could work with every single community across the whole of the Commonwealth. And so we have, at the moment, 5,500 kids that we can work with. And so there's going to be a match there that's going to work with your family and your skill set, because foster parents come in all different shapes and sizes, and the kids come in all different shapes and sizes. So your skills will be worked out what they are and matched to the DSS child. And so in a community, you can work with the DSS, but there's enough children, so we're not competing with each other. We're all supporting the kiddos and making sure the kids do a great job in the families. So we're supportive of whichever journey you take. But if you're looking for adoption, we're going to have a lot more children in our organization, because we have all the communities working with us versus only the one community.
Would a DSS department, if they had their foster carers themselves, but they felt that they didn't have the right family for a child that they were advocating for,
yes,
would they then also branch out and go, well, we don't have the right parents, we're now going to branch out to an agency to see if someone...
Very much so. These are very smart people, the DSS workers. They're dedicated to their kids just as we are to ours and their families. And they recognize if they don't have the skill set, and ESP and FosterVA does, then they're going to give us a call. They're not going to put the kids at risk because they don't want to go outside of their comfort zone of their parents. They don't want to break their parents either. They have the same philosophy that they've worked very hard. It's a long journey to become a foster parent, about 4 months to get through the whole process. And we don't want to do all that work and then just give them a 10 child and they say they don't have the skills, and then that parent's gone forever because they've had a bad experience. So everything's about finding that right match, and they're doing the same thing as we are. So when they need help, they call it extra special parents.
So on that basis, then, there can be times when the DSS will come to you as a first point of contact, but then equally you're going out to them to let them know you're available. Is that correct? Is that
Absolutely, exactly? Yes. So with social services, their workers change quite a lot. They've got a high turnover of workers. This is a stepping stone in most foster care agencies. In DSS, they come in for a few years, learn the skills because of the intensity of the work, child protection, and these sort of things. And so we have to keep continuing communicating to them about our services we offer, because new workers come in. We have to re-educate them about how great we are and what we do for them and how we make their life easier. Because when you've got a very large caseload, the thing you need is a reliable partner. And we can be that reliable partner, and we can work with them to make that journey, but only if they know about us. As I said, with 133 communities across the Commonwealth, we get forgotten about very quickly if we don't have that constant. And some agencies will only have 1 to 5 children a year. Yeah. Others will have over 200. Those don't forget us, but the little ones may. So we have to keep our finger on the pulse and say, we're here, we do a great job, and how can we help?
And how do you do that predominantly?
Strangely, foster care does have professional conferences where we train the social workers, the psychologists, and we get together and we have training, and we have a little booth that says extra special parents with free candy and flyers and things. So it's pretty basic marketing, nothing genius. It's just putting our name out there, reminding the new workers as they come around all green and excited that we're here for them and we're going to back them up, sort of thing. And our longevity helps them, and their supervisors know about us and their bosses know about us. But the people with the children, they have to be reminded because they haven't come across us before because they're new to the field.
And I think this would be a good place to touch on actually one of the innovative tools that you yourself had this amazing idea to create for the DSS, which has really helped to build relationships. Do you want to talk us through a little bit about AdoptionFlip, which will then hopefully go into FosterFlip?
Yes, certainly. So we created an electronic book that highlights our families. So a home study, which is something you'll learn about as you become a foster parent, is a very complicated document. It's everything about your family, and it can be 20 to 40 pages long, depending on your journey in your life. And that's a lot of paperwork sort of thing for social workers to go through and receive. And so what we decided was that if you wanted to be an adoptive family, we would put a profile, and we would take that 40 pages and put it down to 2 electronic pages. And the design is that we encapsulate your life, your needs, your wants, your desires, your skills, all into one place. So the professional workers, the DSS, know who we are. And we send this out to around about 400 workers every month. And they get that on their desk, and they know exactly who you are, what you're looking for, and how we can help. And nobody else in America does this. We are unique. It's created. It took us a year to create this compilation, and it is a talk of the town at the moment. So I hope people will copy it. I think plagiarism is the ultimate sign of respect. And it's been out about a year, and we're getting through to our first adoptions are happening now, which is great that the AdoptionFlip has made the connection between a social worker, a family, and a child all on your desktop. And these busy workers need all the help they can get to make the perfect match. So our 80 plus families who are waiting for adoptions across the Commonwealth are now highlighted, and our social workers that trust us and have that integrity can really make an informed decision, and then make a referral with a name, not just a child's name, but your name as well. And that is a unique piece of the program, giving the power to the family, and even the children can be involved. We've heard about stories where the children are assisting in picking their parents out of the book.
Yeah. And why did you decide to do a flip book of parents, where traditionally it's seen that there's a catalogue, hate to use that word, but a catalogue of children? Why did you decide to do it in a different direction?
And the children's system of putting the child on the billboard has been around for generations in foster care. And it worked well in your community that there was a child that needed a family. But the internet has changed everything, and AI has changed it even more. That giving this image out that will never be forgotten, this image that will never be moved on by, and that is too powerful for a child to be attached to an image of them in distress when they were a young adolescent and had no control over the destination. So I believe that having an informed adult making a decision to put their image out there that they wanted to be an adoptive family for a child is empowering, where a child isn't empowered by being put on a billboard anymore, because the internet is too powerful and can be too abused. And I heard a story not that long ago, actually, and it was that a child found out they would have been adopted by searching their image. They did an image search, and they found out they were adopted. And the child was only like 9 years old. So the parents hadn't had that conversation that they were a foster to adopt child, and their image was on the internet. And they found their own image. And then there was an uncomfortable conversation. It was going okay for one of the children and not for the other child. So there was 2 that were placed. One was okay with it and one wasn't. And that was a reason I had the thought why I wanted to do it, and that was the reason in real living feeling children.
The deal.
Well, we had already built it. We just didn't have any evidence. And then when I heard this story, because a social worker told me that they had this impact, and it was like, that's why we need to take the images off the internet of the children, because these kids are super smart, super young. Google has tools. Everybody has Google Lens. You put your face up there and they pop up and it's like, found you. And these kids are moving faster than we are, sort of thing. So we have to put some guardrails in. So the AdoptionFlip and the FosterVA is a guardrail that I believe is strong.
Well, I mean, it's clear to see that the partnership between ESP and the DSS is incredibly strong, which is why, you know, you're one of the top agencies in Virginia, and it's only going to get better as you start to increase and use these tools and develop it. And I believe that the DSS are extremely grateful in general about anything that's going to help them make their life that bit easier, help be respectful for their time constraints, but also actually match children with families much quicker so that they're within families in a much quicker turnaround. And I think you guys have really got that nailed.
Yes, and giving the children that stability that we all want, that they have fewer placements, more successful placements, and that's all about matching, and that's trust and integrity. And the DSS workers have trust and integrity. We have trust and integrity. Our families do. It's just communicating.
Fantastic. Well, Richard, thank you so much for joining us today and to talk a little bit about that partnership that you have that is very strong with social services in Virginia. Now, if you are watching this and you are within a child advocate role within social services and you're now thinking, what is this AdoptionFlip? I've not actually heard of it yet. It hasn't reached me on the radar, or I've heard of it, but I'm not receiving it. I think we should just let people know that if they go to www.adoptionflip.org, they can register if they are a child advocate to be receiving a copy of the new edition as it comes out each month for AdoptionFlip. If you wish to connect with Richard away from here, the best place to do that is on LinkedIn. He's got a fabulous profile over there on LinkedIn. And if you're watching this as a family or parents or people that are interested in thinking, I would really like to become a foster carer and I'd like to learn more or be on a foster to adopt journey, I would warmly recommend that you go to www.FosterVA.org. And if you / with free guide, you will get Richard's 45-page incredible guide where we've sucked all the information and knowledge out of him and put it into a fabulous 45-page guide of a comprehensive guide to foster and adoption in Virginia. Richard, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Nikki. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And have a wonderful day wherever you are, and we'll catch up with you on the next episode. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.